Hey there, stampers and crafters, and welcome to, you know what, I don't think my sound is all the way off, so give me 1 second, okay? Let's try that again. Hey there, stampers and crafters. And welcome to our Friday online class. I am Tami White from stampwithtami.com, and I just cannot get that volume thing figured out. Doesn't matter what I do. Get one turned off, forgot the other one. Whatever. It's all good and fun. You know what? We are going to have a blast today. We have some amazing projects. I'm going to make a really cool technique, and then I have some amazing projects to share with you. We're going to be doing the cracked glass technique. I don't know if you guys saw this in the preview or in the thing here, but it is just awesome. It is so cool. This card was designed by Veronica. A lot of you might be familiar with Veronica, especially if you follow me, because she does a lot of designing for me and for my blog, and she shares some amazing projects, and this being one of them. And I just flipped out when I saw this wow card. I'm like, we are making that this Friday. So if she's not on here yet, I know she's coming on any minute now, so looking forward to sharing this project from her. And I also created a couple of more along the same theme to share with you guys today. And while you guys are popping on board, welcome everybody. I can see y'all popping in here. So a couple of updates. I was off on Tuesday. My son is a junior, so he still has another year, but we thought, you know what, we're going to get on this. My older son, we were a little bit later, so this year we said, let's get on it. We started looking at colleges. It's February vacation. We picked the most amazing day. Oh my gosh, it's February in Boston. We're walking around, and it was almost 70 degrees outside. It was wonderful. We had a great time. We went with my godson and a friend of theirs, and we just really enjoyed the day, and we got to tour Northeastern campus, and that was really fun. So I have a few more of those to come, but that was a great day, a great time, and thank you all for hanging in there on Tuesday. I do have another special little giveaway on the Facebook page, just in case you missed it, because I didn't want to completely not have prize patrol, because I know how much you guys love that. So, other news, I'm growing. Yes, I am growing. I need some help. I have an assistant in the office now helping me, and as a result, between her, my son, and myself, we've run out of space in my little office. So I'm renovating. So my desk is now in my family room. And so this week has been a little bit of we've been moving stuff and getting ready for some construction in my old office to make it work in there. This is my old office here up in the upper corner, and down below is what it looks like now. Actually, the electricians are there right now, so it's even more ripped up than that. But you can see the only thing left in the room is Flash's couch. Poor little Flash sitting on his little couch all by himself. He's like, where did everybody go? What's happening? He's used to working with me during the day. So little guy, there's Veronica. Hey Veronica, welcome. So, yeah, so, and speaking of Flash, in case you missed this, I have such wonderful news. It has been such a wonderful week. He goes to Tufts Animal Hospital here, and for his chemo treatments. He was diagnosed with cancer last month, and when they brought him in this week, they did his blood work, and they called me, and they said, we are so happy to report that Flash is in remission. Amazing news, amazing news. I'm going to try not to cry again, but it was just a very awesome, emotional day. I was so happy for this little puppy. He's doing awesome. And so that was exciting. I knew I had to share with you guys because I know you have been praying for him. Rachel, you caught my Verizon ding. Yeah, I think that's just becoming part of my live videos because I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what to do. It's the Verizon box. Backup box or something for the cable modem. I don't know what to do. I should ask the electricians while they're here. Maybe they can fix it for me. In the meantime, that's not a smoke detector going off in the background, and it's here. It's on the video. It's not at your house. If you're looking for your smoke detector, it's not. It's actually my Verizon backup box that's beeping, and it's probably going to do it a couple more times. So I apologize for that. Speaking of the office renovations, me being on vacation a couple of days going in with Noah. Update on the $2 million. I had a couple of gifts for you guys this month. If you placed a $50 order between the 1st and the 15th, and if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, and if you're both, you qualified for both of these gifts that I was giving away: Tutti Frutti sequins and pearls. Yesterday was the day they were supposed to go out, but we are just overwhelmed trying to get used to the new tiny little space that I'm working in and all the people here, and my assistant's trying to help me out, and she worked all night last night trying to get all this together. We're almost ready. In fact, she just came just as I'm about to go live. She's like, oh my God, we don't have stamps. So I'm like, oh my gosh, of course we don't have stamps. So we are hoping to get that out today. I apologize for being a day late on that. Thank you for your patience, but your gifts are coming, and I love you guys very, very much. So that was exciting too. So be looking for those. If you qualified for one of those gifts, be looking for it. And speaking of the $2 million, oh, this was really cool. Sarah Douglas is the CEO of Stampin Up. She shared the card that her and her mom made. Shelly is the co-founder of Stampin Up. They shared this card. Sarah shared it on Facebook yesterday. I was like, oh my gosh, that's my card. That's me. I'm so excited. It's so cool to see it. So yeah, if you missed that card, actually, I shared it last week on my video here. I actually opened it up and shared the card. It is so over the top awesome. I'm definitely getting that framed. It's just so cool. But the thing is, it's a shaker card. So after I frame it, I'm probably going to be shaking the frame around. Oh, good times, good times. And in stamping news, just a quick heads up and a reminder, celebration's still going on. There's 3 ways to celebrate. If you place a $50 order in my online store, you get a free celebration product, anything you want, unlimited. $100 order gets you 2, or you can get a level 2, which are awesome. There's new products that were just released last week. Don't miss those because they're awesome as well. If you join Stampin' Up, you get 2 free catalog stamp sets with your Demonstrator kit, which is already an amazing deal. I mean, you get $26 free, you get free shipping when you do that, plus you get a bonus. And those catalog sets can be anything. They can be the big expensive sets. So totally take advantage of that. It's a great time to join. You can do it just for the discount. You can be part of our awesome team, which our meeting, our Stamp It team meeting, is online here on Facebook, and it'll be this Sunday, and I'm giving away some awesome prizes. So for my Stamp It girls that are out here, and I've seen a few of you pop up here, be looking. I'm going to list the prize patrol for this weekend's meeting right after the class. And I've got all kinds of fun stuff to share at that meeting as well. And Paper Pumpkin. There's 5th anniversary is this in March. March 10th is the deadline to sign up, and you get a free gift with your Paper Pumpkin kit from Stampin' Up in the kit. These are paper crafting kits, and they are awesome. Plus, you can marry Paper Pumpkin with Celebration if you do the prepaid kits. If you do a 3-month, 6-month, or 12-month, you get free Celebration products. And even if you're already a subscriber, if you're not a subscriber, great way to do it. Pop into my online store, click Paper Pumpkin. The details are all right there. If you're already a subscriber, you can also do this. And the only difference is you get free stuff. And your Paper Pumpkin continues just as normal. And so it's a great deal. So I just wanted to remind you of that. And if you are sitting here wondering what the heck is in front of me, this is a cooler. When I say today's projects are cool, I mean they are freezing. I hope this works because part of the project that we're doing today requires some freezing. So brought my cooler down because I didn't really have another way to freeze it. So we'll see how that works out there. And lastly, let's talk about the giveaways. I always have giveaways. I love, love, love giving back to you guys. I love sharing with you guys. I love stamping with you guys. So what I have, and I'm going to actually pop down on the table and show you, I'm giving away the Lots of Happy card kit. I've got 3 kits to give away, 2 live, 1 after live. So the kit, I'll be using pieces of it today for the embellishments. Also, the envelopes match wonderfully with the cards that we're making today that come in the kit. And all you need to do to enter to win is leave a comment here on this video. And if you share the video, you will be entered a second time into my after live drawing. Sorry, my comments are acting up a little bit there. I think I can see them now. All right, I can see you now. Yay! It's like the Verizon guy. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you see me now? Can you see me now? Okay, so anyways, I will be drawing 2 winners live at the end of this episode right here live with all you guys. So good luck to all. All you need to do is leave a comment. Again, if you share the broadcast, you'll be entered a second time into the afterlife. Now, if you didn't win one of the live ones at the end, you still have a chance to win the afterlife. You don't need to leave a new comment unless you want to, because I love to hear from you. Be sure to type the word shared with a D into the comments after you share this on Facebook to be entered into a second time into that afterlife drawing for the Lots of Happy kit. I'm giving away a few of these, so if you go over to my winners page, which is linked in this video's description, I've got a couple other ways that you can win this kit. All of them are free, and this is an amazing kit. And if you saw the What to Know About Retiring in Colors, you'll know this has some in it, and it may be going away. So it's a good time to get it. Get it now before it sells out. All right, that said, I'm going to move that out of the way. We are going to be doing some cracked glass technique today. This is just awesome. I mentioned at the beginning, and in case you popped in a little bit later, this card design came from my friend Veronica, and she's an awesome designer. You can see a lot of her designs on my blog. She sent this idea to me last week, and I flipped out. I'm like, oh, it's such a beautiful wow card. All of these embellishments are from that Lots of Happy kit. Now, here's something really cool. The background here is actually, and I'm going to get you back out of here. This is the, oh my god, I'm drawing a blank on the name. I was going to call it Petal Palette, but it's Petal Passion that matches the Petal Palette designer paper. So what I did was I colored in the designer paper here with the Stampin Blends. Now, Veronica's original that she sent to me, she actually did with watercolor pencils. And it looks, and you can actually see that one on my blog too, and it looks just as awesome. So you can go either way with this, but I'm going to do today's with the Stampin' Blends. This is the one I'm going to use today. I cut this sheet up, and all of those measurements are on a free PDF that's on my blog. So if you are loving the card, if you're following along, I know a lot of you are regulars on my online classes, so you know this. But for those of you who are new or may not be aware of this, I always have a free PDF for you to follow along. It's got a picture of the card. It's got the measurements here for you and the products that I used, and then a note, a little space here for you to take some notes if you need to. It just helps you. And then the bonus here is that if you are wanting to make this card later but don't have these supplies yet and want to go back and watch this video later, the replay is always on my blog on the resource page. And you can get to that simply by clicking, typing in this URL, or if you have a smartphone, you can zap this QR code, and both of those will bring you to the same place, which is my resource page, where you can get the free PDF. You can rewatch this video as many times as you want or need to. You can fast forward to the parts that you need, that you want help with, or that you want to see the cool technique to. And they're great to have. Those are, great to. I highly recommend using them and saving them for later. Like, even if you either save them on your computer or save them in a binder. So I have one more card sample that I made here. This envelope came from the kit. I mentioned that it matches perfectly. The designer paper that I used here, instead of stamping, I colored designer paper, which was kind of fun. I like doing that, like a little adult coloring book. And this was just another sheet of that designer paper. So this was the pattern I used on this one to color in, and the one that we're going to do today. But then I also created this one, and I had so much fun yesterday. We were making these designs and alternate designs, and my boyfriend's daughter's 12, and she was hanging out with me because it was school vacation, and I'm like, you want to stamp with me? She's like, yeah. So we made these cards. Hers even came out better than mine, and it was her first time coloring with the Stampin' Blends. She was just like a little artist. It was awesome, and they're that easy to use that the first time you sit down and use them, everything comes out awesome, and it was just a lot of fun. So these are cool. I have all of these card designs on my stampwithtami.com blog, so you can click on the link in this video's description and you can see more. You can see the photos of these, so you don't need to sit there and screenshot. And I have one more. This one I just used the black shimmer ribbon on it because I didn't want to cover it up. It was so pretty. I didn't want to cover it up. I colored in the design, and you see all the cracked glass in the back there. See how cool that is? All right, are you guys dying to do this? Because I'm dying to show you how to do it. I'm going to bring in a little bit of scrap paper here. This is some grid paper. I especially like to work with this one using the Stampin' Blends, but also because we're going to be doing a little bit of, we're going to be using a little bit of powder here on this, the embossing powder, so it'll keep things a little bit tidy. Now, when you're using the Stampin' Blends, the reason why I like to use this is because they bleed through. They're supposed to bleed through. They're blenders, and they need to be good and wet. They need to be good and solid to give you a good color. And so it's just part of their design. And so you want to have something underneath to protect your workspace, because a little bit of color will come through, and it is supposed to do that. A neat thing about this is, because this is double-sided paper, if it's really, really saturated, some of this design shadows through in the end, and hopefully I can show you that on this one. It's a super cool effect. It was accidental. It wasn't intentional, but a super cool effect. So what I've taken here, I've got the Cherry Cobbler this is the Stampin' Blend Alcohol Marker. And this is the lighter of the Cherry Cobblers. And I'm just coloring in the whole rose here. I'm going to get it really good and coated. Can you guys see that okay? Do you want me to zoom in a little bit more so you can see it a little bit closer while I'm coloring? I want you guys to really be able to check it out here. Okay, so I've just coated that with the light Cherry Cobbler, and yes, I am a lefty. Sorry if I'm messing you righties up, but lefties rock. That's all right. You righties can do it just as well, I'm sure. I'm teasing. Okay, so now I'm just highlighting a little bit with the darker Stampin' Blend the Cherry Cobbler, and then I'm going to go back with the light and kind of just pull that color in a little bit. There we go. And then I've got another rose down here, so we'll go ahead and do that. Oops, that was the darker one, but that's okay. We'll blend it in. No one will ever know. The coloring of this card, I think, is just a big part of the fun. And for those of you who are just joining, this is actually the Petal Passion designer paper that I'm using to color here. So between that, the Stampin' Blends, and the Lots of Happy card kit. And if you do not have that card kit, just say you're watching this at a later date and maybe that kit's no longer available, you can substitute the pieces of the kit that I'm using. You could substitute a stamp set or some, gold foil paper. It's definitely something that you could, use what you have if you didn't have that part. Okay, so I don't know. I'm not quite sure what color I want to do that flower, so we'll come back to that after we do some of the other colors. Let's see, what do you think? Next up, let's do, what do you think on this one? Maybe a little pumpkin pie? I'm feeling it. I'm feeling pumpkin pie-ish on that one. So I'm going to go again with the light and the dark. I'm using both together. And on this particular card, actually, let's even do a little bit of the Daffodil Delight in the center there. Oh, yeah. We'll come back to that. But that'll really make it pop. So we're just going to take some of the lighter. And I mentioned this at the beginning. So this card design came from Veronica Salas, who's out there. Shout out to Veronica. And when she did her original, which you can see on the resource page on my blog, she actually just used the watercolor pencils. And watercolor pencils come in the Lots of Happy kit, in case you were wondering. So again, that kit is just a great deal. But it's good to know that she could use the watercolor pencils and still had this amazing effect that looks just beautiful. So now I'm taking the darker of the pumpkin pie and just doing a little highlighting with it. And then I'm going to blend it in. Let's do this little area right here that has a little shading. Okay. Don't you just love the way that just pops right out? Okay, listen, if anybody out there knows how to change the battery on the Verizon backup box, can you email me after this? This has been going on for weeks, and I just don't know what to do. At first, I thought it was my smoke detector, and then I learned that it was the Verizon box. They actually sent me an email, but I don't know how to do it. I don't know what to do. I feel like such an idiot. I'm like, I can't make it stop. I don't know how. Thank you, Sherry. She says it looks great. Isn't that just awesome? I mean, the colors just really make it pop. And there's just something about coloring that's just so therapeutic. I really enjoy it. All right, let's see. Next up, let's go with a little bit of, trying to think of what to do what. Maybe a little of the rich raspberry. Just a little bit. Just a little touch here on this guy. I was going to do it red, but I think I'm going to do a little rich raspberry. And there's a little hint of something over here that will put a little raspberry in. Because I love the color together with the colors on this card. And it seems like, depending on how you cut the designer paper, you get a little bit of a different design each time with the flowers. Thank you. Jean says she's going to ask her hubby when he gets home how to fix that Verizon box. Oh. Okay, so now I'm going to color in these little flowers with some Bermuda Bay. Again, these are the Stampin Blends Alcohol Markers that I'm using here. So I'm going to go lighter and then do a little shading with a darker color on each of the flowers. Just a little bit of highlighting there, just to really make it pop. And we'll do these guys over here. There's just something so relaxing about coloring. I just feel like once you start, all your troubles just whoosh. I saw somebody had taken this entire page of designer paper, the entire 12 by 12, and just they had a kind of a rough day, and they took the entire page and a pack of the whole Stampin' Blends and just colored the whole 12 by 12 sheet, and it looked like a piece of artwork. It was so beautiful. And it's just such a pretty design. It goes with the Petal palette suite. Okay. Rebecca, I'm not sure what you're referring to when you say the old markers, but these are alcohol markers. These are not the Stampin' Right markers, which are water-based. These are a different line. We sell both. Okay, so let's see. Little yellow. This is Daffodil Delight. I'm going to put on this middle guy right here. There's no right or wrong way to color here. You can go outside the box. You can color the flowers more natural, or you can just make up your own colors, because that's part of art. You can be creative with that. So I'm going to take the darker of the Daffodil Delights and just kind of shade a little bit there. All right, I've got one little flower down there. What color should we do on that one? Let's do blue. Nah, let's do purple. There's not enough purple in there. So this is the Rich Razzleberry. We'll just... for some reason, these colors just really, they're almost all brights. Actually, yeah, they all are brights, right? Except the Cherry Cobbler. They're almost all from the Bright collection. They're just so pretty. All right, now the last thing we want to color in is those leaves. And I am by no means an artist. I would like to say that I am, but in all honesty, I am not. So this just goes to show you how easy this is to really use these Stampin' Blends to make the most beautiful piece of art, even if you have very little talent. And if you were, instead of using the Stampin' Blends, if you wanted to watercolor this in, you don't even have to stay between the lines. You know what I'm saying? You can just go crazy on that. Really make some pretty watercoloring. So then I'm taking this. This is Old Olive here, the green that I'm using, and I'm taking on. Sorry if I'm going off a little bit. Oops, that was it. I meant to do the lighter first and then pull a little bit with the darker, but I guess you can go either way with that. Thank you, Joy says. It looks beautiful. It is. Just, I love it. I am absolutely in love with this paper. And the pens. You see in a lot of my online classes, I use these pens a lot because they're so easy to work with. They're so pretty. the blending just really makes everything pop. And I'm going to give you a little bit of heads up on this paper. This is the Petal Passion paper in the Occasions catalog from Stampin' Up. It's only available until May 31st. But those Occasions catalog, especially paper, that stuff does sell out before the end of the catalog. And I know that happened last year with a really popular paper, and everybody was so disappointed. It sold out fairly early. People weren't expecting it. So just a shout out that I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen to this one. And if you love it, I would stock up on it now, just so you have it. Okay, it's as easy as it looks, Tanya says. You make it look so easy, but it really is that easy. It really is. So, there is our colored. It's so pretty. Isn't it so pretty? And everyone's just a little different, depending on how you cut. You know, how you cut up that DSP. All right, so next up we are going to start our technique. So that was the coloring with the blends. Lisa's asking how long do the pens last before you need to replace them. I haven't had to replace any yet, and I've been coloring quite a bit. I honestly don't have an answer for you there. I think it really depends on how much you color with them. If you colored 100 things a day for a month, you might need to replace them a lot sooner than somebody who does a little bit less. So I can get back to you on that one next year when I've when I've used them for classes and been using them for a lot more, but I don't have a good answer for you right now, sorry. But so far I haven't had to replace any of them, and I've been using them a lot. So this is a Versamark ink pad, a fairly new one. I'm trying to make it dirty because I like them better dirty. And I am inking up the entire panel. Now, you don't have to do the entire panel. You could cut this up and do it in sections if you wanted to, but I'm doing the whole thing because I love this card and I love what's going to happen to it. Okay, so this is all kind of sticky. I'm going to try not to touch it too much because I don't want to get my fingers in there. And I'm taking some clear embossing powder from Stampin' Up, and I'm going to pour that over the entire thing. So I've just taken a little piece of scrap paper to catch the powder underneath here. I'm not using an embossing buddy first because I want that powder to stick to the entire panel this time. Normally we don't. Normally we only want it to stick where we stamped, but this time I want it to stick to the whole thing so it's completely coated with powder. Just going to pour that right back into the jar. And we're going to take our heat tool and do a little bit of embossing here. So we're going to heat up. This card is hot and then it's cold. It's hot and it's cold. Oh yeah. See that? Oh, it's just awesome. Now I am going to cheat a little bit. I bought these at where I get my deli meats. They have these little cutting boards, and I found that they are awesome for heat embossing. I'm just putting my finger on a tiny piece of it so that it doesn't fly away on me, but this way it's not going to burn or melt anything underneath it. And we are just going to melt all of that. Elaine says the reverse side of the paper is pretty. Yes, it is. And I don't know if you heard me say this, but if you get it good and saturated, you get this really cool effect because it's double-sided paper. Sometimes you can actually see a little shadow of the vines from the other side of the paper that I just thought was awesome. I know, and this embossing, Sherry's saying I love, whoop, come back! It's hard because the whole thing's covered. Normally there's just a piece of it so that I have a place to hold, but this time I don't. There we go. And it's hard because I want to make sure I'm holding it in view, but so that you guys can see this happening. It is awesome. Oh, I love the hearts. You guys are awesome. The whole thing get it melted, and then we are going to do that again, and that took a little bit longer than it would normally take me to do that, but it's hard for me to hold it in view, and I want you guys to be able to see everything, so I'm going to just take my time with it. But you guys probably, when you do it at home, will be a lot quicker because you won't be having all of that extra things to think about. Okay, so I've got Versamark back on it, doing the exact same thing. Marianne says she uses her paper piercer to hold a corner of hers down if she does an entire sheet like this, and that is actually a very good suggestion. Thank you, Marianne. Okay. I do love my little cutting board. I saw that one day when I was at the deli, and I was like, oh my gosh, what a genius. Look at a little cutting board, little boar's head cutting board. I'm like, what a genius little thing. I'll use that for my heat embossing. And I do. And then we're going to heat that again. So this is the second coat that we've just put on here. You know what? A little piece of tape on the back of this to stick it to the cutting board might not be a bad idea. That is actually a good suggestion as well. See why I love stamping with you guys? Mary is following along. She's doing her coloring while she's watching me embossing. I'm mesmerized every time I see this, every time I see the embossing. So it's just so cool. And this particular thing, because it's embossing the entire panel, this is such a wow. Now the more embossing powder you get on here, the more coats that you put on here, the deeper the effect is going to be. But I think that we found that you want probably about 6 layers. And again, if you were doing a smaller section, this would go a little bit quicker. And if you weren't trying to hold it in view, make sure you're balanced and holding it in view so that you guys can see all the coolness. It goes a little bit quicker than that. So you want to get this good and coated. Okay. All right. So you want to do that maybe about 6 coats, I think, of that clear embossing powder on that project. Now, through the magic of Facebook Live, I happen to have one already here. I'm going to back you up a little bit. So once you've got 6 coats of the clear embossing powder on your panel, and again, you could cut this up and make a whole bunch out of it if you were making a bunch at once. You want to take this and put it in the freezer for about 15 minutes. Get it really nice and cold. I found that this is the key to a really good crack, is getting it really good and cold. Somehow that did not come out as, you know, when you say something and it doesn't come out right? Yeah. But you don't catch it until after it's already come out of your mouth. Anyways. So I've got my little cooler here. I had one pre-done for us so that I could show it to you. I've got my little cooler full with ice. So hopefully this kept it cold enough for you guys to be able to really see this technique. Let's see how I did. Okay, so this is one that I did yesterday, and I froze it up for you guys. It has 6 coats of the clear embossing powder on it, and I'm just going to take and fold back. I like doing it at an angle, I think is the best, and just pinch it. And when you pinch it, You might even hear it snap a little bit. This is what's going to crack. Hear it? And let me just hold it up there so you can see what it's doing. It's like when the ice cracks, right? When it's frozen and it cracks, it's giving you these little spider veins. You want to be careful not to bend the paper when you do it. Try to just kind of pinch it. There's a good one right there. And it's beautiful. And the effect is just amazing. I mean, people look at this, they're not going to think that you made it at all. My little helper yesterday, she couldn't even believe that she made it herself after she made it. She was like, wow. It's such a wow. There's some good ones there. And you can cross them. You can do a lot. You can do a little, whatever your taste is in that. Okay. And so you can see there, and I'm just trying to hold it up in the light so you can see the spider vein cracks in there that are just awesome. Awesome. So I'm gonna kind of leave it there. I think that's for me, I like this amount. I think it looks maybe just one or two more. I know it gets a little addicting. You just can't help doing just a little bit more. And then I'm going to break out our kit and we'll finish up the rest of the card here. Back it back out again. There we go. And I do have those other samples, the images of them on my blog so you can see them. And you can do that with any stamped image, and it doesn't have to be designer paper. So the Lots of Happy card kit, this is an awesome kit. If you want to see us reveal this kit, Linda and I revealed, excuse me, on a Stampin' Scoop show, and I linked that to this resource page so you can see it there. These are just dimensionals that come in the kit. This kit comes with everything. It's got a block that comes with. It's got the watercolor pencils, so you could actually color this like Veronica did with the watercolor pencils and still be very beautiful. So I've taken the thank you stamp out of the stamp set that came in that kit. And I actually have, let me just show this to you while I'm doing that. I actually have a little bit of this kit, the information on it here, the details on the kit to share with you. So you guys can kind of get an idea of what's in the kit, what it includes, the colors that it includes. It is an awesome kit. Highly recommend. Really, it really is. Okay, so I went ahead and I stamped that in black. Now, a black ink spot comes with the kit. Or if you were stamping this image, you would want to use the Memento ink pad instead of the archival ink pad. So you could use either one of these for the words. Either one works just fine. This label came in the kit. This was part of the kit. There's a bunch of different labels that come with the kit. And these next pieces that I'm going to be using all came from the kit. So this is a little banner. Again, if you had gold foil, you could use that instead. This is the Lots of Happy card kit, Tina. Okay. All right, and this paper, this ribbon is Lemon Lime Twist Ombre. Very cool, very cool. So I'm going to cut a little piece of that off. And we are ready to play with some embellishing. So we're just going to go ahead and attach these pieces together. The first thing I did here was the ribbon. Actually, I wanted two pieces of that ribbon because I loved it. Veronica did something kind of neat with this. And I'm just going to eyeball this. I probably didn't cut it the right size, so I'll have to cut another little piece here. She stuck this ribbon underneath the gold banner, and it looked really pretty. So I'm going to take some snail adhesive and just coat the back of that, and I've got a silicone mat underneath here to catch that extra adhesive. So I'm going to trim that up a hair. I'm going to put the ribbon on both the top and the bottom of that. And this needs a little bit of a trim there. It gives the illusion, when you flip it over, of the ribbon being wide ribbon that goes all the way across the banner there, which I thought was kind of neat. And I thought that was a pretty cool idea. All right, so I'm not worried about it not staying too good because we're going to use another adhesive on that. I'm going to put some snail and attach that to that little section for a little banner here. And then these vellum leaves are part of the Lots of Happy card kit, but you could also make these with the leaf punch, you could make something very similar. So I put a little snail on the back of that one. We're gonna, let's see, put that on the top, and then, actually I'm putting the snail in the front of these leaves, and then sticking it right to that panel. But again, you could punch those out with the leaf punch and some vellum if you didn't have the card kit. All right, so next up, you saw that the dimensionals actually come in the kit as well, but I'm just happen to have some over here that were already open, so I'll use those. And we're going to dimensional this so that it pops up when we stick it down to our card front. And actually, before I put that on the card, let's go ahead and put our cracked glass panel onto the card. So this is the back. Remember how I told you it bleeds through? These are all of the flowers that we colored. And I'm not sure, you can see it a little bit. Okay, I'm going to zoom you in before I attach it. You can see, remember how I said because it's double-sided, you get a little bit of a shadow from the other side there. Can you see it there? It adds this really cool effect, especially since the other side of this particular pattern is these vines. It's kind of neat to see. That was an accident. I'm going to call it a happy accident. I was like, wow, that was awesome. I actually, the first time when I saw Veronica's, I'm like, did you stamp that on the background? She's like, no, that was actually the, that was the designer paper coming through. I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. All right, so I'm using snail adhesive to attach this panel, and I just ran out, so I'm going to give you a bonus instruction here on how to refill your snail. Boom, done. Sorry if that was a lunch bag letdown. You wanted a little bit more work there, but it's pretty easy. Okay, so I've got a pre-cut black, basic black card base here that I'll be using for our card. So we're going to stick that down. And then a little vanilla, which again, measurements are all on that free PDF on my stampwithtami.com blog, and stick that to the inside because it is a basic black card base, and you could stamp on that too if you wanted to. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, it really, by itself, that is amazing. With all the little spider vein cracks in it. So cool. And the glossy, it's such a wow. It almost looks like a ceramic tile. All right, so thanks for the heart, you guys. You guys are awesome. So much fun. It's good to be back. All right, so I'm just taking the dimensional backings off of that panel, and then, oh, where do we stick it this time? Should we stick it in the middle? Should we stick? I'm going to stick it in the middle this time, I think. Or do we put it up top? Yeah, middle. Middle? Or do we do this? Oh, yeah, that right there. Right there. Boom. I didn't want to cover up those pretty roses. And there's our card. And that is the cracked glass technique. So I've got oh, I don't know where I put them. Where did I put the others? Just in case you came in late, I was going to show them to you, but I guess I've already moved them. Oh, here they are. If you came in late and you missed these are a couple of other designs. This one I put the shimmer black ribbon on using the Petal Passion designer paper and blends, doing the cracked glass on it. And then the shimmer black, this was my original, and this was using a different pattern paper from that that package, that Petal Passion package, and then these embellishments all came from the kit. They all came from that Lots of Happy kit. And the envelopes that are in the kit, these striped fun envelopes, also match the cards. Perfect, right? They were made to go together. And this is our online class today. I hope you guys enjoyed this technique. Lots of fun. I surely enjoyed doing it for you. Veronica, I know, was excited to see it. All right, so now it is time for some giveaways. If you've left a comment here on the Facebook Live video, you are eligible to win. Everybody who's left a comment is eligible to win the live, one of the 2 live Lots of Happy card kits that I'm giving away. And if you don't win one live, you still have a chance to win the after live, which is also another card kit. So I'm going to pop you over to our webpage, and just in case you're not familiar, this is my stampwithtami.com blog. There's a link in the video's description. This is the resource page for today's video. It has all the information that I just shared with you, including the free PDF here, including close-ups. Now this is Veronica's card here that she did with watercolor pencils, and close-ups of the cards that I just shared, and a little bit about that Lots of Happy kit. So that, actually, looks like we're missing some close-ups there. I'll make sure that they're on there. We are now going to pop over to our giveaway site. Looks like I gotta log back in because sometimes that happens. It only stays logged in for a few minutes. All right, so good luck, everybody. I'm going to draw your winners. And wow, 800 comments. Oh my gosh, I love you guys. I love you guys so much. This is so much fun. Okay, so good luck. Here comes the winner. The first winner of the Lots of Happy card kit is Sharon Perky, and the second winner is Joyce Abney. So Sharon and Joyce, be sure to fill out the prize claim form, which you will find in this video's description, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. There's a link to my resource page, and there's a link to my winners page. And all of the winners are announced there as well. And if you were not the lucky winner of a live, I will be drawing another Lots of Happy card kit on March 9th. So if you're watching this after live, if you're watching this, or if you watched it live but didn't win, your comment still counts towards the after live. Good luck for everybody. I will draw the winner and announce it here on Facebook, on my winners page, and on my weekly newsletter is where you will find all of that. Thanks for joining the Cracked Glass Technique class today, and Linda and I will be back on Tuesday with the Stampin' Scoop show. So lots of fun there. Have a great weekend, everybody, and thanks for joining me today.